And that's full time. I think on behalf of the MPFL management, you've been nominated as man of the match. So congratulations to you.
Well, so far I would say it's been extremely satisfactory, considering the fact that
yes, that is some highlight at the Lafayette City Township Stadium Center for the Northwest Zone, as in the North Zone of the Nigerian Premier Football League Youth League. It was organized by the MPFL organizers just to harness talents, to pick talents for our age grade teams, under 17, under 20, and probably they will be graduated to the Super Eagles, and that is the idea and the brain behind that particular competition that was put together during the break of the Nigerian Premier Football League. And we'll be talking about this on this show and many more other topics. But on that, I welcome you to the show this evening. Sports update from Trust TV. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. John Osho will be joining me live from Kaduna this evening also on the show. But let's begin with this particular story. Let's go straight to the track where the All-African Games is just a few weeks away from now. It will be happening in Accra, Ghana, and we have our athletes who will be going to camping just a few days away from now. By Thursday, the camp will open for Team Nigeria at the various centers. We have center here in Abuja, Lagos, and Bayelsa. That is the three centers that will be used for Team Nigerian athletes. But as it stands, the AFN right now hopes on home-based athletes. You know that the foreign athletes, the likes of S.A. Brume, Toby Amuson, and co, having a lot of engagement in their various events in the world. The season opening last weekend, we saw Toby Amuson making record in Leuven, France, also for S.A. Brume in the United States of America. So the president of Nigerian, that is the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, Tonobok Okowa, says the country will prepare the home-based athletes for these upcoming All-African Games in Ghana, because some of these foreign-based athletes will not be around, will not be participating because of their various engagements right in the world event. On that note, let's go straight to Kaduna and have John Osho join us this evening on the program Sports Update. John Osho, welcome to Sports Update. It's a good one. You saw, we'll still talk about the MPFL Youth League and the rest, but we'll get there. But let's start from the tracks where the Athletics Federation of Nigeria right now, they have to turn their attentions to home-based athletes to represent the country when the All-African Games come calling in Accra, Ghana.
We have to rely on home-based at this point. So I think so far, Nigeria has shown that when it comes to athletics, it's not all the time that we have to rely on the foreign-based athletes. We've shown that we have it at home here, people who are, up to the task to even compete against some of the foreign-based guys. And what I expect the AFN to do is to take care of these home-based players, or rather athletes. Because when you look at the home-based guys, sometimes the problem they have is not talent, it's not the skill. The problem they usually have is the fact that when they get injured, nobody takes care of them and they are being neglected. So that doesn't motivate when you look at it. But if they're able to take care of these guys, so that by the time they're in camp, they're able to prepare properly, they go for this competition. And then beyond the competition, after the competition, they continue to care for this guy. This way, even if we don't perform to our expectations because the foreign guys are not around in this particular one, subsequent tournaments, we're going to be on top of our game because these guys will want to continue to represent Nigeria with the fact that they usually take care of them even when they get injured. And the credit to Toby Amuson, who is really doing great for Nigeria and representing us well. She, alongside Brume and Ophelia, might not be able to make it down for the games, but we trust in the local guys to go out there and do well in Ghana.
and do well in Ghana. The likes of Samuel Ogazi Fetukose, who was the revelation at the last National Sports Festival in Delta State, Asaba. A lot of them will be prepared very well for the championship, the All African Games that will be coming up in Ghana. It's just like it's our own continental mini Olympics. So let's see how it goes for all of our home-based athletes. This is time to represent the country, and it is time to also say, yes, we can hold our own when we go out for games like of this nature. All right, let's leave the AFN and quickly go straight to the NFF. Let's look at this particular story where NFF is seeking private investor to come and invest in football in the country, and because that is the way to go. I think this present board is looking for an avenue to at least shift the burden, at least take the burden away from the federal government. You know, the government of Nigeria, the federal government had to just sponsor sports, fund sports in this country, but the NFF is looking for a way how to just bring in private sector to invest in Nigerian football. John Osho, I think this is one of the best things that if this board can achieve, is going to be one of the best things for our football in Nigeria.
Yes, first of all, I'm wondering why it took them this long to push this out and to seek for private investors. When you go to some of the big leagues in the world, you go to England, you go to Spain, you go to Germany, you go to Italy, you go to France, even in other continents as well, going to other sports in the United States and the like, you see that private investment in sports is what makes sports what it is. Because these investors come into the game and what their money can do, and they know that if I'm spending the money this way, if we're doing this and we're doing that, from the start, the money that we spend is going to increase. But when you look at the government sponsoring, the money just comes from the government, and nobody actually has any, anything to think about it. They're like, the money will come no matter what we do, no matter how we perform, the money will come. But if private investors, are being invited, the league will be pushed to be better, because everybody will want to step up. The clubs want to do better, and they want to outperform, because they know that once they perform very well, they're going to earn more money, which will help them to buy more players. Before you know, you see us bringing in foreign investors, not just from Nigeria now, but from outside Nigeria, and players will be coming from other continents as well, just to come and play in the Nigerian league. And I'm not talking about players who are not really good, but players who will also drag in, that fame and drag in fans to come and watch our league.
Yes, of course, and that is what the NFF is looking at as they seek private investment in Nigerian football. All right, still talking about the round leader game. Let's quickly, you saw the highlight of that game between Lobby Stars on the 17 team and Niger Tornadoes, and it was a good game. You saw that highlight. Let's go straight to that story and look at how it is standing right now. After the preliminary stages, the final has been scheduled to take place at the Samuel Ogbumdia Stadium in Benin City. Like I said, the tournament was put together by the MPFL organizers to harness talent, to scout talent for our age grade teams. John Osho, I think it's a very good initiative coming from the MPFL organizers.
So looking at the team and looking at the fact that these are young players, let's just say it's popular, catch them young, right? So this is the time to get some of these players. What this does for us is that, first of all, it helps us to build our reputation internationally when we go for international tournaments with these young players. And it also helps us, that reputation where people say African countries like to use overage players for underage tournaments. I know, it helps us to curb that at this particular point. Because catching these players young means that we're able to see that these players are truly young, and then we're also able to groom them at this particular stage for international tournaments. Players from these particular competitions can now be taken to camp. They will still be going to school, but they'll be taken to camp where they can start preparing. And then you already have data on those players. You start preparing them for future tournaments. That's really, really good for the football of Nigeria. And who knows, in 4, 5, 6 years, some of these players, will be playing for Nigeria and representing us at the World Cup.
Yes, representing us at the World Cup. That is the main idea behind organizing this league, as the youth league being organized by the MPFL. The finals will be holding in Benin City just a few days away from now. The finals will be holding with all of the teams that have made it from all of the zones. They played, got to the finals. The likes, you saw the likes of Lobi and Nigeria Tornadoes and others who will be there in Benin City to slug it out for the overall winner of the MPFA Youth League 2023-2024 season. All right, let's leave that story and go straight to Europe. Let's quickly look at this story where Victor Osimhen, as we speak, will be landing in Italy. We arrive Italy after the sojourn in AFCON 2023 in Cote d'Ivoire. Now he's going back, and probably he might just be called back to duty over this weekend in the Italian Serie A fixture. For Victor Osimhen, I think he had a very wonderful tournament in Cote d'Ivoire, despite not scoring the goals, but he was involved in all about 4 goals at the AFCON for the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Yeah, it's actually very easy to forget how good Osimhen was at the Nations Cup simply because we didn't win it. And a lot of people are angry. But let's not forget that Osimhen had about 3 goals chalked off because of VAR. Yeah, which rightly fully chalked off. But which means that in the old times, many years ago when we didn't have VAR, some of these goals might have stood. So he might have had about 4 goals in the tournament. Let's not forget that Osimhen won the penalty that got us to go against South Africa. Let's not forget that the same Osimhen is the reason why we could play 5-4-1. We were defensively solid because he alone could press. He could harass all the defenders of the opposing teams for the full 90 minutes and sometimes even going into extra time. Like Osimhen is going to be a big asset for Napoli going back because Napoli have not really been on form since Osimhen left. They've been having mixed form, winning these and losing these and the likes. And they'll be happy to have their talisman back in the team. And maybe you can push them as a consolidate on their position to qualify for Europe next season. So let's just hope that he can put the disappointment behind himself and go back and push Napoli to do great. It will be hard for them to win the league this season, but at least they should be able to qualify for the Champions League if they know what they're doing.
Yes, he should be able to at least know a lot of the off-field issues and on-field issues with Victor Osimhen before coming for the Nations Cup. And I believe he's going back already. The Laurentiis has said he might just be leaving the team at the end of the season. And we know all of those issues that happened. But let's see how Victor Osimhen was going to be very instrumental for Napoli, because last weekend they lost their game and they are to AC Milan at San Siro 1-0. It ended in favor of AC Milan, and they want to pick up these pieces and push, at least, even though not Champions League football, let them get a European qualification ticket, either play in the Europa League or at least play in the Conference League. All right, let's leave Victor Osimhen and quickly look at the big ones that will be happening tonight in the UEFA Champions League. Like I said in the morning show, the champions are back, and they are back to doing what they know how to do. Now, the Champions League round of 16 games will be coming up tonight, and there is a big game tonight in the UEFA Champions League, likes of PSG, who will be in action against Real Sociedad of our own Umar Sadiq tonight. I think that's one game that everybody is looking forward to. PSG has always been touted to be every season, just the way Man City was also looked to be the champions. Definitely last season, Man City had to prove that yes, we are really champions. Every season you tag us champions, but this time around we want to do. But for PSG, they've got into the final. They could not replicate, they could not do what Manchester City did last season.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. Looking at PSG have got the players. But I think the problem PSG has is the attitude in the team. They had Messi, they had Neymar, they had Mbappe. Right, they were not able to combine the skills of these players, because the thing is, when you have players with so many egos, with so much ego, it's very hard for you to manage all these players with the kind of ego that they have. And Mbappe is the golden boy, the Prince of Paris, and he would want things done his own way. And that's where the problem is, because the club do not know how to separate the player from the man. Because Mbappe outside, the ego that he has, if the club keeps allowing him to bring that ego to the pitch, it's going to affect the rest of the players. And that's the problem that they've had. The problem has never been player quality, it has always been the attitude. They've not had the right attitude. Rashid see that if they know what they're doing, this is Europe. Europe is very different from the league, right? If they know what they're doing, they could create an upset. Try and mark out the talisman, which is Mbappe, and then try and isolate him from the rest of the team. And it might just help Rashid that to nip this one. It's a two-legged affair. PSG are playing first at home. There's no longer the away goal rule, so I'm not even going to say maybe Rashid has to score 3 goals or something. But they should just avoid losing away. And then when they go back to Spain, they should try and win the game against PSG. Just create an upset. Let their fans create an atmosphere. The kind of atmosphere that's going to make PSG uncomfortable. If PSG are not able to get a win against Rashid at home, then it's going to be hard going to Spain and trying to get a win, because they'll be trying too hard to get 1 goal or 2 goals, and Rashid might just use that to punish them. So I expect Rashid to create maybe an upset just because of the fact that PSG are disappointed in Europe.
Okay, disappointed in Europe. The other game is between Lazio and Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich lost to the table toppers in the league, that is Bayer Leverkusen, 3-0 over the weekend. Do you think that loss against Bayer Leverkusen is going to affect them tonight against Lazio in Rome?
Yeah, like I said again, league and Europe, they are 2 different things. Now, you could see a team really struggling in the league, and then when they come to Europe, it's an entire different thing. European nights, everything is just different. So Bayern Munich, the fact that they are wounded, they lost to Leverkusen, that fact alone might just be what might save them today, because they are hungry, they are bleeding, and they are trying to make a point. They don't want to lose 2 games on the bounce. They don't want to have 2 consecutive disappointing games on the bounce. Lazio are at home in Italy. Italian clubs are also known to be powerhouses when it comes to European football. They had more European teams than any other league in the semi-final.
Okay, I think we lost John there. Let's quickly, that is it. Lazio will be playing
of the Champions League last season, and they might want to bank on that.
Champions League game. Let's quickly leave the Champions League. There's one fixture in the Italian Serie A for tonight. Bologna will play Fiorentina in the Italian Serie A. All right, that is where we will leave it on the show. John, thanks for joining me this evening for all of your insightful analysis and wonderful one on the show Sports Update. All right, that is it on the program.
Thank you very much for having me on the show.
I am Emmanuel Fashion. Say thanks for watching.
This is the second match of the day 3 of the NPFL Under 17 Youth League, and it is Plateau playing all yellow, playing against Kwara United in all green with stripes of yellow. It is a game that champions must emerge. Loving ball to Deok, Elijah into the direction, and that was also almost in. And that was close. And Peter set it on the platter.